JD Vance appeared on Joe Rogan, and he's got some viral clips coming out from different things that he said. He spoke about getting the normal gay vote in this election. I'm going to let him say it out loud. This is apparently a super offensive comment that has led to a lot of conversation.
And I think that, frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if me and Trump won just the normal gay guy vote. Because, again, they just wanted to be left the hell alone. And now you have all this crazy stuff on top of it.
Okay. So that's the clip in question that's going crazy. What does it mean to be a normal gay guy? Are you saying there's abnormal gay men? CNN did this in response to it.
You know what where the line is between a normal gay person and a not normal gay person.
I mean, the question is,
I'm assuming I can guess what it is, like, you know, anything related to drag, I guess in you know, that drag, you know, wearing as much makeup as Donald Trump wears, that would be considered not normal. It's fine for Donald Trump, but on a gay guy, that wouldn't be considered normal.
The other...
I guess if that's your interpretation, Anderson Cooper, that's fine. Thank you for letting us know what you believe to be the difference between a normal gay person and an abnormal gay person. I would say the normal gay person is the person who doesn't make being gay their entire personality and the whole basis of who they are in totality. I would say the normal gay person is the person who can be open about their sexuality, but doesn't need to dictate how everybody else thinks and feels about it, and is comfortable in themselves to where they can live throughout the world without having to push all of this LGBTQ leftist agenda on everybody. I would say the normal gay person is a person who is all about freedom of sexuality and freedom of expression, but doesn't think that 9-year-olds need to be injecting themselves with puberty blockers and signing up to have double mastectomies once their breasts grow in. I think that's what normal gay people look like. Normal gay people are probably looking at the LGBTQ plus expansion that's been taking place right now and saying, wait a second, I think we need to slow down. And while the gay rights movement and the movement between, you know, sexual equality and being able to express oneself and have freedom of expression was necessary, maybe we've gone a little bit too far in attaching all of these other things to our community, if we can even call it that. I think a normal gay person is questioning whether or not LGBTQIA plus two-spirit even makes sense to be put together as a community. I think a normal gay person is looking at things like they, them, and neo-pronouns like Z-zer and, you know, starburst self and themselves and going, I don't know if that makes sense because my sexuality dictates that I'm a man who likes other men, which actually alludes to a binary system of gender and sex. That's what I think normal gay people are thinking about. And it is no indictment on their sexuality as to whether or not gay marriage is something that we should be talking about and allowing in this society. It's just to say that all the other stuff that existed on the other end of it is going a little bit too far. And maybe they don't want to be lumped into these crazy movements that are harming children and creating an agenda in society that is not based in reality. And there's plenty of normal gay people out there that are raising their hands and saying, wait a second, I think we've gone too far. There are plenty of normal gay people out there that are saying, I think we've expanded this little alphabet that we've created for ourselves a little bit too far. I think that's what JD Vance was referring to, Anderson Cooper. And it's so interesting because for so long, Republicans have been called homophobic. They've been told that they don't want anybody who's outside of heteronormativity to be a part of the party. But when JD Vance says, I think normal gay people are going to vote for us and they are welcome within the party, that's suddenly not an okay thing to say. But wait a second. I thought he was a homophobe. So why would he be even inviting gay people to the Republican Party in the first place? That was the rhetoric you used to use. Now when that doesn't work anymore, you pivot and suddenly there's a distinction between normal gay and abnormal gay, and that somehow makes him homophobic. Now we have other responses to JD Vance. Let's watch one.
I think that, frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if me and Trump won just the normal gay guy vote.
What?
Because, again, they just wanted to be left the hell alone, and now you have all this crazy stuff on top of it.
Oh, no. No, I'm the crazy stuff, I guess. I'm a they, them, but I would guess, and please, normal gay guys, let me know in the comments, that our community would remember how we were treated and demonized in the 80s and 90s, and even the normal gay guys then were seen as subhuman by people like you.
And I think...
Are you living in the 80s, 90s right now? Is that what you're experiencing right now? Are these the same people that would have subjected you to that in the 80s and 90s? And of course, I have a whole nother deal with this person. This is Jeffrey Marsh. Jeffrey Marsh is a they, them who's on TikTok talking about transgenderism and gender identity and tailoring those videos towards young children and saying young children that they can be separated from their families, that he's their new family if their families don't agree with their they, them identities or they're transitioning. So this is in fact the abnormal gay that JD Vance would be referring to. And this person has some deep set psychological issues that they are now projecting onto the world and more specifically onto children. Yeah, most definitely, if you view this person's content, you will understand what a normal gay is and what an abnormal gay is. And we actually have some of the normal gays, if that's the way we're going to start talking about these things, coming out and supporting JD Vance. Let's watch.
I wouldn't be surprised if me and Trump won just the normal gay guy vote because again, they just wanted to be left the hell alone, and now you have all this crazy stuff on top of it that they're like, well, no, we didn't want to give pharmaceutical products to 9-year-olds who are transitioning their genders. We just wanted to be left the hell alone.
Me normal, that's pushing it, but you got my vote. Vance is right because the movement, which was once a movement for equality, has now turned into a movement of wanting privilege. Because no, I'm not down for the kids medically transitioning. Let kids be kids and stop introducing trans ideologies to them at such a young age. And the mess that pride has become, act like you were brought up correctly, and if you weren't, teach yourself how to conduct yourself accordingly in public settings, because nobody wants to see all that. I'm not down with trans women competing in women's sports or entering women's spaces, especially when women come forward and vocalize how it makes them uncomfortable. And the majority of people don't give a fuck about your gender identity or sexual orientation, so stop making it everybody's business. I personally would like to blend with society, or how Vance put it, just be left alone. He gets it, he understands it, and for that reason, yes, this gay man will be voting for Trump and Vance. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one.
Okay. What comes after 6 and 7? 8. He ate. Okay, he's absolutely correct. And I have to remind people, you know, you might be offended by hearing something that you think is worded in a strange way, or by the idea that there could be normal and abnormal people in a certain group. There most certainly is. I'm so sorry. I got to rip the Band-Aid off on that one. It is just true. And I have to say to the normal gay people who are hearing messages like this and it is resonating with you, the abnormal stuff that is happening within the LGBTQ plus community that is being thrust upon our society and specifically on young children is actually going to lead to more gay people facing trouble in society. Because what has happened is the most radical and extreme among you have tied it to your community. And that's why this whole LGBTQ plus thing I have so many problems with, because you're attaching very extreme movements to non-extreme movements. It is not extreme to think that we should all be treated equally within society. It is not extreme to think that we should all be able to express ourselves within reason and without harming children. Those are not extreme ideas. But because the extremists have attached themselves to the LGBTQ plus community, you are going to roll back all the rights, because people are going to be saying, if transitioning kids is what happens after giving people marriage equality, we need to rethink everything. And that's not the right way to be thinking. But they're the ones lumping it all together and saying this is all part of one massive movement, and that's not okay. We're going to see a major either regressive period in society where we start to roll things back, or the extremists among the LGBTQ plus community are going to just keep steamrolling people and moving forward these vicious movements that are literally harming and taking the lives of children. So yeah, I think that's what JD Vance says when he says, I think the Trump-Vance campaign is going to take in the normal gay vote. Now, there's no metrics for that. We'll have no way of actually finding out how much of the normal gay vote they've taken in their campaign. But I wouldn't doubt that what he said is true. And shout out to all the people who are members of the LGBTQ plus community who can be honest about this and who can still remain steadfast in their identity, be it in their, sexuality or their gender expression or whatever the case may be, while also calling out some of the lunacy that is existing in our society. It's really brave, because the entire LGBTQ plus community that exists on the extremist side comes after you full force and says that you're a traitor to your sexuality. Trust, if you're a man who still likes men and you're calling out this unreasonable shit that we're seeing, you're not a traitor to your sexuality. You remain gay. You're just a normal gay.